Hey guys, I hope you're having a great week. My day is off to a later start than normal today because I went to work out this morning and then I came home and had quite a number of things to do. So I just finally got to take a shower. It's like 3 p.m. and I thought I would sit down and catch up with you. I can't believe I'm almost finally out of this. Like, I'm struggling to squeeze it out right now. And thankfully I have another bottle. And this is so, I don't even want to just say it's perfect for summer, even though I think this is perfect for summer because it's so light. But I know I enjoyed it a ton in the winter too. And you guys, like, my skin has been the best it's been in a really long time. And I really think it's because I'm trying to eat better. Yeah, it's crazy what a huge difference it makes, because for a week when I was really intentional about not consuming sugar, flour, and alcohol, my skin was so clear. Like, Brandon would comment on it very frequently. He's like, wow, your skin looks really nice. And even I felt it too. Like, when I would wash up, and my chin, like my jawline area here just felt so smooth. It felt like it wasn't my face. And it was a great feeling. But with that said, this week there were 3 different events where we did meet people and we ate out and stuff, and I ended up like drinking 2 or 3 days this week, and I ate flour and definitely had some sugar, and I did get like 2 spots down here. But I think for the most part, I mean, as long as I don't go crazy, I think I can still have my little indulgences and still be able to maintain my skin along with the like awesome skincare products I've been using. Oh, by the way, you see this guy? So a few of you, I know I've tried this, the Real Technique sponge months ago, I think maybe last winter, and I was complaining about how I didn't have it for very long, but then it started tearing. And I know in the past, like when I used to use the Hot Pink, the original beauty blender, I never had issues with it ripping. And then I tried the Beauty Blender Pure, which is like the one without, it's just white, there's no dye in it. And then I also tried the Beauty Blender Tan. I don't really remember how I felt about the tan one, but I remember I was quite disappointed by the Beauty Blender Pure because that one ended up tearing on me, even though I am really gentle when I wash it and dry it, and I make sure like my nails don't dig into the sponges when I wash them. So after I complained about how the Real Technique sponge tore on me like not too long in, really. I feel like I've had it for like a few days or a week or something. And I just remember being really disappointed, but I figured, you know, because it is significantly more affordable than the Beauty Blender, maybe there's like a lack of quality there. But I know some of you have said that you love the Real Technique sponge and that I should give it another try. Maybe I got a bad sponge. So I think in February, yeah, in February, because it was before I left for my trip, I needed to replace my beauty blender. So I decided to give this another go, and I bought a pack of 2. I think it was on sale for like $8 or something. And I started using this at the beginning of this month. And what I noticed again, it's dry right now, so it's not as apparent, but yeah, like a few days in, there are just tears everywhere, and like you can't really see it here, but like when I wash it and it expands, the cracks are so noticeable. And it's been really bothering me because they're not just like little nicks, they're really deep and they're everywhere. So I don't know. I mean, I have one more and I'll use it because I have it, but I think I'm done trying these. So with that said, 2 days ago we hung out with Brandon's parents and we went out for dinner, and we went to this like Japanese spaghetti place. Apparently Japanese spaghetti is like all the rage because it's right in Gangnam, and Brandon says there's always a line when he walks home from work. So we decided to take our parents there, and we did have to wait. So while we were waiting to get seated, Brandon's mom and I, we went to Daiso. And I remember like when my friend Reb was visiting from Australia in the winter, she was telling me that these Daiso puffs are like all the rage, and these are even cheaper than the Real Technique Technique sponges. This was 2001, which is basically less than $2 US. And I was really skeptical because I have tried other sponges in the past that's like supposed to be like beauty blender dupes. And the issues that I've come across is that they look the same on the outside, but like the material of it, it's so dense that even when you wash them, I felt like I was squeezing so much, and no matter how many times I rinsed them, like I could never get all the soap out, and it just was so time consuming. So I ended up not using that anymore. Sorry, there's like something happening in the streets outside. I was really skeptical about this, and then my friend Reb, like she wasn't telling me from personal experience, but I guess she was following like beauty bloggers or something, but she was like, yeah, I think you should try it. And I remember she bought it. And so when I went to Daiso with Brandon's mom, like we came across these, and I was telling her, because I was the one that introduced her to the beauty blender about 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, I heard this is supposed to be really good, but I don't know, I haven't tried it. So she insisted on buying one for each of us, and then look at this. She bought me this little thing. It's this little plastic white egg with little feet, and it's supposed to be a little rest for your beauty blender. And it's so weird because when the packaging for this, it's like you can put your, you know, beauty puff or like a boiled egg, and I was thinking like, who would buy this just to like house a boiled egg? I don't know, I thought that was kind of strange. So this is my second day using it, I guess is my point. It's not bad. It's actually really soft. It's even softer than a beauty blender and the Real Technique sponge. It's hard to describe, but it almost feels like I'm applying my makeup with a marshmallow. Yeah, the texture of it is really smooth. It's really, really bouncy, and it's super easy to wash. So I'll keep you guys posted. We'll see if this ends up tearing, or yeah, if it just doesn't last as long. But I mean, it's so much more affordable than the beauty blender, because the beauty blender, man, it runs close to like 30 bucks here. And I can't get myself to pay that much for it in Korea. Yeah, hopefully maybe this could be a way better replacement. I've been starting out my days doing my self-coaching homework, and the theme this month is how to change your past. And I know it sounds a little tricky because obviously you can't change your past, but what Brooke talks about is how, you know, our past is over. It's just that we hold thoughts and stories about our past in our heads. And when we feel either negative or positive emotions about our past, it's really from the thoughts that we have about our past now. So it's not that our past actually affects us now, but it's the thoughts we have about it. And I know she makes it very clear to say that she's not talking about people that, you know, face like real serious trauma, because like she always emphasizes that, you know, there are things that are like beyond her scope. Yeah, what she does is in therapy. So she's like, if you are someone that has suffered from some kind of like really terrible trauma, that you probably need therapy or like some other professional help for. But she's talking about changing your past in terms of maybe there's some things about yourself that you believe because someone has told you while you were growing up, like whether that's good or bad. But it's really working through what you're holding on to and the stories you're telling yourself about them. And the daily exercise this month is to, I think there's 3 questions every day. I've been trying to start my day with these. So the 3 questions she asks is, what was great about yesterday? What wasn't great about yesterday, and how can you change it in your mind to make it great? And how can you tell the story so it truly was good? And then she has like this exercise where she teaches a model, and basically what the model means is you taking a circumstance, like what happened in reality, and then filling out like the thoughts that you had about that circumstance, the feelings that were triggered by it, how you acted in response to that, and what the result of that was. So her model is called the CTFAR, and if you guys have listened to her podcast, it might not be new to you, but basically I've been doing a lot of thought work in that sense, and even though it's like 3 simple questions, I find myself sitting there for quite a long time just like processing things. And recently, like Brandon, we have gotten into 2 fights, and one of them was, yeah, I definitely reacted very emotionally. And so after he went to work, I was just sitting like really thinking about it and like running the model through my head, because you know, the circumstance is the circumstance, it's the reality of what happened. So it could be like Brandon and I fought, right? That's something it can be proven and everyone would agree Brandon and I fought. And then now I was thinking about all the things that I was telling myself, how I interpreted his words and his actions, and then how I felt as a result of that. And then I wanted to obviously not be so upset, so I went ahead and did the model again, and instead of like upset in my feeling line, I filled it in with an intentional thought. And I think I wrote down that I wanted to feel at peace about this one situation that we fought over. And so it's like, okay, how can I change my thinking so that I can have this feeling as a result? And I sat there for like an hour just processing everything. Like, I know he wasn't trying to hurt me. I know that for a fact. It's like, okay, what could he have meant when he said what he said, or when he acted the way he did? And so I came to a pretty sound conclusion. And once I did, it took a while, but I texted him and I was like, I'm really sorry. Like, I realized that I was just trying to control you, and there was an expectation that I had and a standard that I've set for myself and like kind of placed on him without like communicating it to him. And so I definitely was at fault there. And then, yeah, he said he appreciated my apology. And then when he got home, we ended up talking about how, you know, he shouldn't have reacted the way that he did. And it turned into a really fruitful conversation. We got to learn things about each other, which is so cool. And I'm just really grateful that I can like come around so much faster, because oh man, in the past, like if I felt so justified in my anger, like we can go days without talking to each other, and like, you know, there's no upside to that, right? Anyway, I hope that wasn't too vague, but I don't necessarily want to share the details of what we fought about. Maybe another time. But yeah, it definitely was another opportunity for us to learn about each other. And it's so funny because it reminded me of one podcast episode that Brooke recorded, and it was called like The Manual or something. And basically, this is like the basic gist of it. She says, most of us have like this unwritten manual for the people in our lives, whether that's like family or like coworkers, bosses, friends, or whatever. And we have this unwritten manual about like how we want these people in our lives to act, and when they don't act the way that we have like written in our heads about them, then we get upset. And it's so funny because I feel like it's so true, especially in a marriage, right? Like I feel like everyone kind of has like this, you know, what their ideal, like how their ideal spouse would act or what they would do in a certain situation. But, you know, obviously, like, you can't control anyone, even though, you know, I trick myself into thinking that I can sometimes, that, you know, if I drill it in enough to Brandon's head that this, and this is important to me, that he would, you know, I can enroll him and he will perform and do things exactly the way that I want. So it was really humbling to listen to that episode, and I'll definitely link it down below if you guys want to check it out. But I just thought it was so relevant, and I caught myself thinking, oh my gosh, I totally have a manual for Brandon and he wasn't following it. And even though I felt so justified in it, yeah, anyway, I came to the conclusion that, oh my gosh, I'm trying to control him. And I was able to say that to him, like just put my pride down and say, hey, I realized what I did, you know? I don't think I've ever talked to Brandon about this podcast episode, but I remember when we were fighting, he said something like, I'm sorry, is there a manual that I didn't get? Because I feel like you expect me to read your mind sometimes. And I remember he like made that comment in passing, and you know, in retrospect, I think it's pretty funny now. Anyway, so that's what I've been doing. There are definitely days when it is much easier to work on these things, and some days where I'm just like, I wish I never knew about this so that I can just, you know, sometimes just sweep it under the rug, because a lot of times it's tiring, right? To keep working through your emotions and letting yourself like feel all the negative ones and then processing it. It's just, it takes a lot of mental work. It's a bit exhausting sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. So anyway, that's that. I recently pulled out this powder again. This is the Honest Beauty Luminizing Powder and Dusk Reflection. And I remember ever since I got this, which was like winter of 2015, I remember because I was in New York then, and I ordered this just, I don't know, randomly. I don't even know why. Like, I don't think I saw reviews or anything about it, but that was when I also got the Honest Beauty Tinted Moisturizer, which I loved for a season when I wanted fuller coverage. And because of all the products I've been trying out, I tucked this one away for a while, but I recently pulled it out because I wanted a bit more of that like bronzed look because it is the summer, and I completely fell in love with it again, and I've been just using a little bit on my cheeks. And you know what's funny? I'm going through this period right now, and I know I definitely have phases where I do this, but you know, I think it's always important to me to own only the stuff that I really, really love. But like recently, I think I'm really in this mindset of, okay, if we end up moving, like what do I actually want to take with me? Which in turn makes me really rethink my purchases, right? And I had to tell myself, okay, stop buying more beauty products. And I know that I'm saying this, but I can totally break my own rule at some point, especially when it comes to skincare. But yeah, like my body care collection is just growing. I think most of the stuff too I haven't bought. It's like Beauty Hero stuff that I was sent, or things I've been testing out, or things that were gifted to me by friends. And I find myself like opening the medicine cabinet in our bathroom and then just feeling a bit overwhelmed because, you know, unlike conventional products, the cleanly formulated ones, they don't last as long because they're not like jam-packed with like nasty preservatives. And so their shelf life is much shorter. And I like everything that's in my collection right now. So I'm feeling this like, okay, I have to make sure that I use everything because I don't want anything to get wasted. But at the same time, if we move to another country at the end of this year, like I don't want to have like 12 body oils, you know, like 12 huge body oils to take with me. So I told myself like no more body care products for a while, and I'm just finding this joy in just going through my stuff. And I know I was tested because recently, like I've been getting emails from brands where I've been getting some really awesome emails actually. It's not like a very general email, because some of them you can tell that some brands, they just change the to line and then the message is very, very generic, right? Yeah, you can like just basically take out my name and put in another like influencer's name, and then it's just the same kind of content. But I've been getting a few lately where it's just, I feel like these people have really watched my videos and know what I'm about, which is like, I'm so honored to read about that. And I remember one of the brands was like, you know, it would be silly for us not to reach out to you, and she was talking about how much she loves the Dating My Husband series and stuff. And actually it was a green beauty brand that reached out to me, and I was checking out their website, and I love what they're doing. They're very intentional about their products, and like curating stuff with very clean ingredients. But today, as I was revisiting that email because I hadn't written back yet, I was like, okay, some of these products are really nice, I'd love to try them. And it was like, okay, but I really love what I already own. And so I sat down and I was completely honest about that. You know, it's like, I love what you're doing, and I'm so touched that you reached out to me. But actually, like, I have so many products right now that I really love that, you know, I want to finish up and I want to get through. So, you know, it only feels right for me to decline. And I think it was really good practice for me in learning how to say no gracefully, right? Like, I don't have to feel like there's no sense in me that just wants to collect stuff from, you know, brands just because they want to send me stuff for free. And I'm so happy that that's how I feel. I can see how it can turn ugly, you know? Ugly in the sense where, you know, all these people are offering you products for free and you just like hoard. And yeah, in the beginning, it is very exciting when people want to work with you, right? But then really just like creating that system to like filter through, you know, does this line up with what I want to do? You know, are these products that I would pay my own money for? Are these products that I would recommend to my closest friends and family? Like all of that. And if I don't have like a strong yes for all of that, like it's not worth my time and energy to pursue. So this Thursday, I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on this month's Beauty Heroes box, which I'm so happy I can finally tell you guys now, because I wanted to tell you so badly last week, but I couldn't because it wasn't the 1st of July yet. But it's Josh Rosebrooks. I have such a hard time saying his name. Josh Rosebrooks Nutrient Day Cream, and the sidekick product is his Vital Balm Cream, and I love these products, but I mean I'll wait to share all the details. So I'm still kind of formulating like all the different points that I want to share about these products, but they've totally like added to my skin being so awesome these days. I'm really excited to share more about that. And I know like these days I've been getting a lot of questions about like sunscreens that I recommend, and the Nutrient Day Cream is basically a moisturizer and sunscreen in one. So yeah, stay tuned for that review. And I think I'm going to keep it pretty short today because there are a few things I still need to take care of before we head out for our date night tonight. So yeah, let me know how you guys are doing, and I'll see you later this week. Bye!